Okay, everyone, I am so sorry. I hit a button trying to move my camera and I turned the daggone thing off. So my apologies, everyone. I am back. Let me load in the comments. I am so sorry. Let's try this one more time. um, if you will, since I've had to start all over, hang on, I got to fix this camera. Hang on a second. Let me fix this one. Hold up. I got to get my cameras organized. Hang on a minute. We're having issues. Go figure that one. Okay, here we go. There we go. And we're going to come back to me. I am so sorry. Okay, so I'm going to ask y'all to do a favor now that I was running in my mouth. I was trying to move my camera and I hit the daggone button on my iPad and turned it off. Okay, so since I'm starting a new recording, if you've already made a comment, thank you. Please just sign in with your name and let me know you're here. I did see the two that had shared, so I'll make sure your name goes in for that. So I apologize for that. You would think I haven't done this before, right? But anyways, okay, we're going to give it a minute so I can get everybody back on here. Hopefully they didn't run away from me. I'm waiting to see. So I see somebody that said, okay, I guess we're moving right along. Things are a little bit slow. And I am so sorry. I was on a rant as usual. I was talking about free shipping for tomorrow. So any other ways, okay, let's try this again. You think I've been drinking. All right. So free shipping tomorrow, $50 minimum order. I'll put my link to the store at shallwestamp.com. And here is the host code if you'd like to use that. And then I'll show it to you when I flip the camera down. And then you'll receive another gift from me in the mail, as well as getting free shipping. Here we go. Now everybody's coming on. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Judy. Hello, Karen. I am so sorry. I just get so excited about talking about stuff. And hi, Tony. And so, oh my gosh. Go figure. Okay. Hi, thank you so much for sharing. Okay, now that I've completely wasted 10 minutes, let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully everybody else will come on. We've got a lot to do. I don't know if I'll get to the 3 cards, but we're going to do a new twist on a fold, and then we're going to make an Etch-A-Sketch card. I don't know if you've seen that or not, so we're going to do that one. And then, actually, I've got a pencil. And then if we have time, we'll do a 3rd card. But I'll show you what that one is just in case we run out of time. So let's go ahead and get started because I don't want to hold y'all up and I don't want to keep you late. Just as a reminder, for those of you that I owe cards, I think I owe cards for the last 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. The week before I went to, the week before I went out of town. So I've got 3 weeks of cards to mail out. Last week's, which I'll tell you who got those, names were drawn. And then, so last week would be the butterflies. The week before that was the, oh, I have it on the other desk. Anyways, I have them for 3 weeks. So if you get cards in the mail and you thought you were supposed to get one, let me know. So as everybody's coming on, the names that were drawn for last week's cards is Tony Arnold and Chris Thigpen. So message me with your mailing addresses if you don't mind. And that way I'll put you in the system so I have it and then I won't have to email you back. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to turn the camera down. So, oh yeah, and I was talking about my hair. So, all right, we are going to make this cute card. And we're going to use the Way to Goat stamp set. And this one I copied from the format from Tammy White. And this is a fun fold. So here's the card. And then we're going to open it. Well, it opens like a regular card. But here's how the front works. So you're going to pull this little tab right here. And ta-da! It flops open. Isn't that cute? So it's a little flippy flop card. I'm not sure what it's called. But anyways, this is what we're going to make. This will be the first card. Then we're going to work on the Etch-A-Sketch. And hopefully that one doesn't take, it may take too long. I've tried to pre-cut everything, but just in case. And I just realized, hang on a minute. Oh, I've got all my stuff right here. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So this is a card we're going to make. We are using, let me pull out my supplies. And do you all prefer that I give you the supplies and the measurements as I'm talking? Or would you prefer, like, because I kind of run out of time. Or would you prefer like a PDF tutorial? Only reason I ask that is I don't do the tutorials because they're time consuming, and I hate to say it that way, but they are. So anyways, but we can discuss that. So here, let me give you what the supplies are. Hang on a second, I've got a cough. Pardon me. Okay, so we're using Balmy Blue, and this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5. So we're going to score at 4 1/4. So I'm going to fold it in half, and then use my bone folder to give it a nice crease. Okay, so that's going to be our base card. Then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White or Basic White, whichever you have. They're both the same. So you're going to need a piece of Whisper White or Basic White at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, that's going to go on here, and we'll attach all of this when we get ready. And then you're going to need another piece that is 3 3/4 by 5, and that's just for the inside. You can do it at 4 by, but I do 3 3/4 by 5, and that'll go on the inside of the card. So we're going to put that right there. And then you're going to need 2 more pieces of Whisper White, and we're going to use the Sweetly So Stitched dies. And you're going to use the largest rectangle and the next largest rectangle. So you're going to cut those out, which I already did, and that's the Stitch So Sweetly or So Sweetly Stitched PDF better. I figured y'all were going to say that, so I'll do my best to try to do PDFs from now on. Okay, so So Sweetly dies, you're going to use the largest and the next to largest scallop rectangle frames, okay? And then you're going to cut a piece of Balmy Blue. You're going to cut 2, one at 4 1/4 by 3 1/8. I wrote on here, so I wouldn't forget. 4 1/4 by 3 1/8, and then you need a second one at 3 3/4 by 2 5/8. Okay, 3 3/4 by 2 5/8, and that's what we're going to mat these little guys on after we stamp our goats. Okay, and I'll flip those over. And then you need a piece that is 2 inches by 6 1/2, and we're going to score this, which I haven't done. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to score this now. This is at 6 1/2. You may want to make it a little bit longer, because when I did this and when I go through and show you, it holds right here, which is fine because you got to get it in the envelope, right? So we may not want to make it a little bit longer. All right, so this is 2 by 6 1/2, and we are going to score this. Let me get my score thing up here. We're going to score this at 2 inches and 2 1/2. Okay, so we're going to do 2 inches here. So we're going to score that at 2, and then we're going to slide it down to 2 1/2, which will give us a half of a crease in between. Okay, so score it at 2 and 2 1/2, and that's all we're going to do. And I'm going to put this away for now. Oopsie. All right, hang on a minute. My husband's got the air conditioner on. I feel it blowing. Okay. All right. You'd rather watch than write directions. Okay, good. All right, so everybody has their own way of doing things. I like the videos because I can start and stop it, but then sometimes I do like to have the PDFs. Okay, so let's start. Oh, and then you need a piece of designer series paper, and this is, I think it's 3 3/3 by 5 inches. Okay, and then there's some other punches, so I'll get those in just a minute. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is let's go ahead and we're going to stamp our 2 little goats that we're going to use, okay? We're not going to do a lot of coloring. I'm just going to kind of do some highlighting with them. So let me find my goats. I've got some of them are going to be used in, hang on a minute, in another, oh, here they are, right here, right in front of me. Go figure. Okay, so I am so glad that I'm back. And guess what? I got my first vaccine yesterday. And I got the Pfizer. So I went to I signed up for, and I got Walgreens, and they had the Pfizer. So I'm like, I don't care. I'll take whatever one I can get. And it's not been that bad, actually. My arm, the guy actually put the needle in. I didn't know. I don't like needles, so I didn't watch, right? And next thing you know, he's putting a Band-Aid on my arm. And I said, are you done? And he goes, oh, yeah. I didn't even feel it. So I'm stamping this in Memento Black. We're going to put this bigger goat on the taller piece, okay? So I didn't even know he did it. I mean, that's how easy it was. And the only thing, it started to hurt just a tad where the needle went in. You know, of course, they put it in the muscle, right? So that hurt just a little, but it wasn't that bad. And then we're going to take the smaller goat and we're going to stamp that one on the smaller piece right here. Yeah, I was surprised. I got up today. I felt fine. I actually signed up where they send me a text to see how you're doing with the shot, so they can keep track. And my arm, I mean, it's a little tender around where it's the muscle's a little achy, but outside of that, it's fine. So I'm happy as a lark. My husband's thrilled. So, okay. So now we are going to, I need to stamp. Let me go ahead and stamp while we got this out. I'm going to stamp right next to, I got you a cake. So we're going to stamp that one right here. And I'm going to put that right up. I'm going to get over here. So I'm going to put it right up here at the top so you can see it. Ah, it's crooked. But you know what? It's a goat. What can you say? It's a crooked goat. It's all right. So let's see if we can get the next one. See if we can do the next one straight. Let me find a block. Hang on a second. I got to switch one out. See if I can do this one. All right, hold on. Anyway, so I was excited I got it. I'm definitely, still you got to be, careful. And we really do, even though we travel and y'all think, but we are very, very cautious. Okay, and on this one, hopefully I've got this straight. And we're going to stamp, but I ate it. I'm hoping that that's straight. But you know what? You know who I am. Oh, that one's pretty good. All right, so I think that's all the stamping that we're going to do right now for this guy. So let me clean these two pieces off. And then I'm just going to take, oh, we got to do some grass. Let's do some grass. I probably should have done that before I stamped he ate it. All right, we're going to use Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to stamp some grass down here on his little feet. We'll put that right between the words. Oh, good. That's perfect. And I'll put some down here so it doesn't look like he's standing in the air. Oh, that turned out pretty good, didn't it? Okay, so we are moving right along. I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring, not a whole lot. I do that too. I write notes as I go, and then I go back when I need to see more stuff. And it's just, but everybody has a different way of learning. So, okay, I am using the ivory, and all I'm going to do is the ivory Stampin' Blends, I'm just going to color his little face. I'm not going to color anything else other than I am going to do some outlining. So I'm just going to color his eyelids and his little face right here. And then that's all I'm going to color. And I can't go out of the lines because I didn't bring my color lifter over here. It's on my desk and I'm not going to get up. So, all right, so that's that. Let me color this little guy. We're going to do his face and we're going to come up and just do this. So let me color that. So how is everybody? It's really sad now that we're older and they have these vaccines that you're happy that you're over 60 so you can get the shot. That's something. It's like, are you kidding me? But that's okay. It is what it is. All right, so we're going to do that. Now I'm going to come in with the, what color is this? We are doing now Crumb Cake. And I'm going to just color his horns. I just want to give him a little bit of color. So I'm going to color his little, I guess they're called horns, right? And this is the dark. Yeah, this is the dark one. So I'm going to color both of their horns. All right. And then I'm going to take the dark smoky slate. And I want to color, even though his hoofs are in the grass, I'm just going to kind of try to make him look a little darker. And on this little guy's too. Because they probably are a little darker, right? All right, and then I'm going to take, actually I'm going to take the dark. And I'm just going to go around a little bit where the artist has made these little lines. And I'm just going to make the same. And we'll do one there and here. And then I'm going to come back with the light, and we're not going to color him. We're just going to kind of outline. We're going to put some shadowing. And I'm just going to use the light smoky slate, and I'm going to come in with, and I'm just going to come around like I'm just highlighting these little pieces here, and come around his body, and just kind of do a little outline, and then just color in these little marks. And we'll do that right there. And then I'm going to come here. We'll just get this colored. And we'll do that. And just come up. So he's going to be a white goat. So let's see. Where are we going next? Let me tell y'all. Let's see. Let me think. Next month, towards the end of April, we are actually going to Siesta Key. But we're not taking the RV. we were supposed to go to Amsterdam last year. Of course, that was during pandemic, so we had to get our money back. So we had a credit from Airbnb, and we have to use it up this next month or we lose it. So we figured we'd just go down there. We're going to drive the car and just hang out on the beach and whatever. And Riley has to go to the dog sitter because they do not allow pets. So she is not going to be a happy camper. She won't be able to go with us. All right, and then I'm just going to do the same thing with this guy. I'm just going to come in and just do a little bit of the light smoky slate. Even though I did some dark up there, I'm just going to come in and do some, just where they've got the little, like the sheep's hair hanging, or wool, I should say. So anyway, so the next trip's going to be Siesta Key. My husband's leaving Thursday to go back. He's going to go up to Virginia. His mom's in Newport News in assisted living, so he's going to go visit her since he's gotten both of his shots and she's gotten both of her shots, and he hasn't seen her in 2 years, and her health is kind of getting bad. So she gets forgetful. She can't remember one day from the other. I mean, some days she does good, and then other days that she doesn't. So he wants to go visit her, and I'm staying here. So yay for me. Okay. All right, so we have our little goats done. Now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and attach this white piece to our card base, and then we'll start putting this thing together. It's really pretty easy. So I'm just going to use my Tombow on this, and then we'll get started on putting this thing together. I think this is such a cute card. I really like it. So I'm going to have to make some more of these too. I've got another one that we're going to do. This is my inside piece. I haven't attached that yet. Okay, so we're going to put that off to the side. Now let's go ahead and attach our goats. We're going to attach them to these pieces, and I'll repeat again. The smaller one is 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. So that's 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. And we're going to glue this one down. So we're going to use our Tombow. So make sure y'all get your orders in tomorrow and get your free shipping. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to have you, shop with me through my online store. And if you have a demonstrator, then by all means, you need to go through that person. Okay, so there's that little guy. So we're going to put him right there. And then this one, again, as a repeat, is 3 1/8 by 4 1/4. And don't look at my fingernails. Now that I'm going to point it out, don't look at my fingernails. I looked at them and thought, oh my God, I didn't tighten them up. All right, we're going to put dimensionals on the back of this one. So we're going to pop this one up, okay? Because he's the one that's on the front of the card. So we're going to pop this one up, and we're going to go ahead and put we'll just put 5 dimensionals there. So let's do that. We'll go ahead and pop these off. So let's see what else is going on. We ate at some really good. Well, we went. There's a lot of Cuban restaurants. We had a couple of food trucks that we went and got food from while we were in Key West. They were within walking distance of the RV place. Oh my God, we went over there Saturday. We left Sunday. We went Saturday and got like 3 meals to bring home, so my husband wouldn't have to worry about cooking before he leaves. He's worried that I might not. I'm going to starve. So, all right. So we're going to pop this one up on dimensionals. All right. Now, on this designer series piece, 3 3/4 by 5, we're going to take the classic label punch, and we're going to push this in as far as we can, and we're going to cut this to make our slot. Now, if you notice, because of the size of the paper, I can't get it centered, right? So, but I'm not going to worry about it. But that's one of the reasons why our pull cord, but we don't want it sticking out too much because we want to be able to get this in our envelope, right? So I'm just going to push this in all the way up against the punch, and I'm going to try to make sure I've got it centered like from top to bottom, and I think that looks pretty good. And this is the classic label punch, so I'm just going to go ahead and punch that out. And to let you know, this is the whale paper, in case you want to know where that came from, the whale paper. Okay. So this is where we're going to start this is our putting everything together. Now this is our mechanism, and again, remember it was 6 1/2 by 2 inches, and then we scored at 2 and 2 1/2. So I'm going to fold this over and burnish. Let me move my Stampin' Blends. I'll just move these over here out of the way. All right, so we're going to burnish this, And then we're going to fold this one, and we're going to burnish this one and get this one really done really well. Okay, then I'm going to bring in, and you can use any kind of tag topper that you want. And I'm going to use the scallop, I think that's what it's called. We're going to use this one, and we're just going to slide this all the way in the opposite side. We don't want to use this end, and that's what we're going to use to make our pull. Okay, so we're just going to punch that down, and then we've got it, and then you can always put a piece of ribbon or something like that through there. Okay, okay, so here's our pull. Now, this is what we're doing. We are going to, hold on a minute, I don't have my, let me go get my craft mat. I took it and unpacked the suitcase and didn't put it back over here. Give me 1 second. I had to get up anyways. Good thing I didn't have to walk far. Okay, sorry. I was really trying hard not to have to get up. Okay, so we're going to use our seal, wherever I can find him. I know he's here because I just saw it. Oh, he's hiding. And then I'm going to use a piece of tear and tape right here because this one's going to keep opening, shutting all the time. So I am going to take a piece of tear tape, and we're just going to put it on that, and I'll show you in just a minute. I'll lift it up and show you. I'm going to put it on this piece right here. So you've got this piece, right? We're going to put adhesive here. And then this piece right here is where I'm going to put the tear and tape. And the reason I'm doing that is this is where, let me show you. Hang on a second. Let me cut this off. I know it says tear, but I'm kind of anal in that sense that I got to cut it. Okay. This is the piece that the big goat is going to attach to that, right? So the little goat, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and we're going to, let me tear this off. And give me a second. Let me pull this off, and then we'll put this guy together. It's a really easy card. I mean, when you look at it, you're like, oh my God, but it's really easy. Okay. All right. So we're gonna put adhesive here. So we're gonna put our seal. So we're gonna put it on just this little square right here. Okay, this little square. So I'm just gonna pull it down, and we're just gonna put a couple of strips down here, and we'll put, you know, it doesn't matter because your card's gonna cover it. All right, so we're going to put the little guy right here. You're going to butt him up against the fold, right? So up against that little crease right there is where you're going to butt him. So, and you want to try to lay him in there centered. So we're going to butt him right up there. I think that probably looks pretty good. So we're going to flatten him down, right? Now this guy, we're going to take him and we're going to lay him over top, and we're going to butt him up. We got the tear tape. We're going to butt him up. And this is that 1/2 inch piece that we did, right? We're going to just butt him right up to that fold as well. And we're going to make sure he's centered. And I think that looks centered. And we're going to lay him down. All right. So there's our mechanism. All right. Just like that. So now we're going to put this in here. All right. Now watch. Let me see. I'm going to hold this for a minute. Well, I can't hold it and do it. So hang on a second. So when we pull it, it's going to open. All right, now what we want to do is we're going to put adhesive right here and right here and right here. Only on these little pieces right there, okay? And I'm going to use my seal. So I'm going to take a piece just on this one piece. We're going to put it right here. And I'm just going to put a little bit on this side to hold it and a little bit right there. And you don't want to do a lot, okay? Now, I'm going to slide this through. And before I hook this down, I want to get it positioned where it's even in my card, right? So I want to make sure it's, now it's going to be off just a little because you can tell that the bottom is a little bit longer, but that's all right. So I'm going to pull it over. I don't want too much because I want to make sure I've got room for my envelope. So I think that looks good. My fingers are underneath because I don't want to glue it down just yet. So I think that looks good. So I'm going to let go of this, and I'm going to put that on there. Okay? And then this is how it's going to work. Boink. Isn't that cute? Boink, 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 boink. All right, now, so on this one, we are going to attach this with dimensionals because we don't want to mess this thing up, right? We want to make sure that this gets room to move around. So we're going to put dimensionals on each of the corners. If I can get it off my finger. I told you this is a cute little easy card. And then I'm just going to put one right down here on this, right below that. And I'm going to put one right up here, right above it, okay? So I've got both corners and then one like right on top of each. And we're going to attach this with the dimensional. So let me pull the, whoops, Let me pull these off. And then we're going to get to the Etch-A-Sketch. Now that one might take a little bit of time. I've tried to pre-cut everything. The stamping is what is, you'll see. It's going to be the, okay. So now we're ready to place this on here. So I just want to make sure, and I'm holding it up so I can see it since I'm sitting down. And I just want to make sure this is even on the card, and I think that is. So we're just going to lay it down there. And there's our card. So you open it. I got you a cake, but I ate it. Oh, now look at that. So I'm going to have to erase that because you can see my little mark. And I'm going to erase that right now. I'm going to have to get my other eraser because this one, all right. We'll erase that before you get this. I'll use my eraser. That will take that off. Okay, so there's that. And then the inside of the card, we'll put a piece of Whisper White. And then we can stamp whatever you want to stamp in here. So, I got you a cake, but I ate it. So we can put in here, you know, happy birthday or whatever. So I'll go ahead and attach this. And then we can add a sentiment, or whoever gets this can add a sentiment of your choice. So we'll go ahead and attach that. And there's your card. Isn't that cute? So now y'all got a new card. If you haven't seen this, a little flip fold, and I'll erase those numbers. Isn't that cute? All right, so there we go. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm missing comments. Let's see. What? Anybody else? Anybody else? Let's see. Isn't that adorable? All right, so there's our first card. So let's move this out of the way. Now, let's get the goat. Let me get this card out of the way because we're going to need room for what we're getting ready to do here. I got to have spread out. Okay, so here is what we're making. I'm going to show you two versions that I did. This is one. Now you have to be careful because we're using vellum, and when you stamp black on it, if you don't let it dry, it gets a little crazy. All right, this is the first one that I made. Oops, let me get in the camera. I made this one about a month or so ago, and then I got sidetracked in what I was trying to, what I was going to show you guys. And isn't that cute? Got the little knobs there, and then we're going to heat emboss. We're the best of friends. All right, so the one I did today, I thought I'd do, now this one I did the donkey, I did the dog, a bunny, a fox, the goat, and the other donkey. Okay, can you see that? Isn't that cute? And then I changed out the knobs. Now the next one we're going to do, I am just going to change it out because I didn't think the bunny and the fox kind of went with the dog. But anyways, you can put whatever animals you want in here, okay? It's your choice. All right, so let's get started on this one. And let me get my directions out. And we'll get started in making this Etch-A-Sketch. Okay, so I'm using the donkeys, and we're going to do some masking techniques. So if y'all aren't familiar with that, then you get to see what we're going to do. All right, and then I got my other goat here, and I think we're good. All right, so in your what you're going to need is I'm using Poppy Parade, and your card base is 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so we're going to fold it in half, and of course score it at 4 1/4. So let me go ahead and do that. And then the longest part is going to be the stamping the animals. Okay, but we're going to get it done. I've got a pencil here and my ruler because we're going to have to measure our window. Okay, so we've got this. So we're going to just set that off to the side because we're not going to use that just quite yet. So set that off to the side. And then you're going to need a piece of Sahara sand. And this is 4 by 5 1/4, 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. And then a piece of vellum cardstock. And this is the same size, 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to be our backdrop once we stamp our animals. Okay. And then you're going to use another piece of Poppy Parade cardstock. And this is going to be 4 1/4, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now I'm using the stitched rectangle from the Stitch Rectangles. I'm using the 3rd largest, I think it is, and I will let you know. It's measured. Let me just tell you what the square is going to be measured. So if you don't have a die, you can always cut it out. But it's going to be measured, let's see. I went ahead and cut it. So, and then I'm using the circled layering circles. I thought these look a little bit better for the knobs. It's the ones that have the little, you know, like a scallop, okay? All right, so this I've already cut. Let me measure out the dimensions so you'll have that if you, and then I'll tell you, I can get up and let you know which, I think it was the third largest, but I'm just going to give you the measurements. Hang on, I got to get this washi tape off without tearing it. Hang on. Hold on a minute. I glued it on here because I didn't want it to come off. All right, so let's pull this off. Hang on. It's been sitting on here because I did this yesterday. It's been a busy day. Today I had to, of course, I had to get my hair done, and then I took the dog right after that to get her a little annual checkup and shots and all that stuff. So it's been pretty busy. And then I got to clean the RV tomorrow. Doesn't that sound like fun? And I have yard work to do next the end of the week. Okay, so I'm using the rectangle, the stitched rectangle, and this one, if you measure from the outside, from outside to outside, it's 3 1/8 by 3 1/8 by 4 1/2. But the piece of the rectangle itself is 4 3/8 by 2 7/8. Okay, so if you don't have that, you can just cut a rectangle out of a piece of cardstock. Okay. All right. So the main thing that we're going to do now, we're going to round these corners, and I forgot to do it on the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and use my corner rounder, and I'm just going to round the top. No, I'm going to round all 4 of them. So let me go ahead and push this in here, and I want to hopefully I can get my corners rounded and get them done right. So let's do that, and then we'll start doing yeah, that works. And then we'll start stamping. This is why I said we may not get to the 3rd card, because this is going to be a little, I mean, it's just a little time consuming. Of course, you want to make sure you get all your animals in there. All right, so we've done our little corner rounds. So we did that. All right, so we're going to set this off to the side. We don't need him just yet, okay? Now our vellum. Now, anytime you're going to do stamping and you're going to mask it, you always want whatever picture, whatever item you want in the front, you would stamp first, and then anything that you want behind it, then you're going to mask the thing on the on the front, okay? So my plan, let me show you what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take this goat, I'm going to put him in the center. But what I want to make sure is I'm going to measure, because I want to make sure that my window, that my animals don't go outside of my window frame, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this down here for a second, and I am going to just make a little dot with a pencil. I'm just going to make it where the corners are so that I'll know where my corner is going to be. And some of it, you know, like if a tail hangs over, that's fine, but I just want to make sure, and you're not going to see those, but we can erase those when we get done. So that's my window that I have for my stamping. Okay, I don't know if y'all can you see that, the little marks? I don't know if you can or not. See the little marks right there and there? Okay. All right. So and what I'm doing is I'm placing how I want to do these. I don't have ink on them yet. So I think I do want to keep my doggy right there, because I just want the dog. And I'm adding a new piece. I'm going to add this guy on here, the Sloth. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put him, but I do know I want to put the dog. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up. And the one thing we have to be careful is we've got to make sure we get this ink to dry, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my dog. Now his tail might be out a little bit of the frame, but that's okay. I'm not going to get too concerned about that. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp him down. All right, and then I can see where it's still wet. So I may turn I've got the heat gun here, so I may start heating everything up just to kind of speed up the ink so that we don't get it all funky. So let me just do this real quick, and I know it's going to be noisy, but let's just make sure he gets dry. So let me turn this on. We'll turn it on low to make sure he gets dry so we don't I'll get him on low, because I don't want him to run. Okay, so we got him on there. Now, I'm thinking I know I want this guy's going to have to go over here, right? This donkey, because he's got to be sitting down. So we're going to go ahead and put him down here. All right, so we're going to, let me make sure I'm in the camera. So we're going to go ahead and put the little donkey probably right about there. All right, so we got donkey down there. We'll put him over here. All right, let me turn this on again, because again, I don't want to get it smeared, because if you look at my one I did earlier today, it got smeared. So I'm just going to try to heat this up real quick. Make sure our dog, he's got some heavy eyebrows, so we want to make sure those are good. Okay, we just want to make sure they're dry. I don't want them to blend, to smudge, because then you get my card and you're like, see, his tail looks a little shiny. So let me just dry that a little bit more. Whoops, sorry. I just want to make sure it stays dry. I don't want to smudge anything. Isn't this cute? This is such a cute card. I mean, if you're old enough to know what an Etch-A-Sketch is, I think whoever gets this card will just love it. All right, so now I have to determine, I want to put this guy, the goat, I think I'm going to put him right about, I think I can get him in here without masking. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp him, and I'm going to put him right down by the donkey's tail. Let me see, I gotta wiggle around the dog's nose. So I may have to put the thing on him. I think I will. All right, so doing a mask, for those of you that don't know, stamp on a piece of Post-it note. So you've got a little sticky at the top, and you're just going to stamp your image and then fussy cut it out, right? So all we're going to do is we're going to cover up this dog, because we don't want this to get him to cover it. So I'm going to lay that right there, because I know the only piece I got to worry about is going to be his nose. So I'm going to cover that up. The donkey, I think, is going to be fine. So I'm going to put this guy right, I'm going to re-moisten my ink, and I'm going to put him right about here. So I'm going to stamp him right there. Okay, so now we got him there, and I'm going to leave that because I'm going to stamp something up there. So let's dry this guy real quick too. I want to make sure that, you know, we get it real dry, because I don't want to, we got comments all over. I'm not checking my comments. I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh, the red frame. This is vellum cardstock, and then that is going to be set on a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 of Sahara sand, and I'll go back over that with y'all in just a minute. Okay, let me just get this stuff dry. All right, and I'll go over everything again too once we get all this stuff stamped. Okay, so far we got 3 of our animals, and you can put whatever. If you all have been around, do you remember the do I have it in here? It was the From the Herd. You know how that one stamp had all the animals? That worked perfectly. Okay, so now I want to stamp, I think I want this guy, this little sloth. So I think I'm going to put him, I may not be able to get another, I don't know, sloth may not. I think the sloth would be cute, don't you? But I really want to put my donkey up there. I think the sloth, well, no. So if I do the sloth, oh, I could do him hanging over this guy. Let's do that. All right, I'm going to cover up the dog again, because we know he's dry. So we're going to lay that there, and we're going to cover him up again, because we're going to stamp this donkey, and we're going to have him like this. So he's probably going to touch just a little bit. Now you'll see what I mean when we talk about masking. So I'm going to stamp him, make sure he's covered up, and I'm going to put him right about like this. Okay, now if I did it right, see how it looks like he's behind the dog. All right, so let's dry that. So let's dry that up, so I don't need the doggy. And then keep these things, because you can always use your mask, you know. So I'm going to put him over here out of the way. All right, and I need to get the donkey's a little wet, so let's just make sure everybody's dry. And then I'm going to try to get one more. I don't know if it's, yeah, see his ears are still wet. So sorry guys, I just want to make sure we get this. Now you can see his ears are probably not going to be shown. They're probably going to be hidden a little bit, but that's okay. We'll see if we can get this other guy in here. If not, we'll come up with another small animal. All right, let me turn that down because I know that's noisy. I'd like to get the sloth. Maybe I'll do part of him on here. Oh, I can do that. I'll put part of him on here. That's what we'll do. All right, so let's do the sloth. We'll just put him on here. All right, so let's do, we're going to only put half, so I'm not going to I am not going to mask because I'm just going to put his head and his legs, and I think I should be able to get that right about there. So we're going to put, oh, we got a bug coming in. Get out of here. Oh, perfect. Look at that. That's work. Okay. All right. Awesome. So let me dry this, and then we'll move on. This isn't taking as long as I thought, but anyway. So if it comes off the edge, it's fine. You know, it's just gonna you're just gonna see him hanging there. And you can do this with any kind of a print. It doesn't have to be animals. It could be anything. You know, you can make whatever you want as far as an Etch-A-Sketch. All right. I think that's hot enough. Okay. So let's cover up our ink, and that's all we're going to do with that. Now, we're going to take that, and using glue dots, we are going to attach this to our 4 by 5 1/4 of Sahara sand. Okay, so let me get my little guys out of the way. So I'm just going to use glue dots. I'm just going to take and put them on each corner. So trying to limit, we're not going to see this anyways because the border of the cardstock is going to cover it. So I'm going to put one on the side too. And I just find it easier just to pop them down and then pull up your paper. All right, and then we'll do one about here. And this would be a cute, I mean, I really think this card, I think anybody would love this card. We'll put this one here. We just want to try to keep the glue dots from being seen. And these aren't going to be seen because they're going to be underneath. And I'll put one right here in the center to hold it down, okay? All right, so now we're going to take, I'll move that out of the way, and we're going to place this on here, and it should line up evenly, or pretty close to it, if I got it right, okay, and we're just going to lay all that down, okay? All right, so that's what the Etch-A-Sketch is going to look like, okay? So far, so good? All right, now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to, let me see how I attach this. Oh, okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, which I did not do, is we're going to do some heat embossing. Now, here's my frame. So we're going to put that on top of here, right? So see how, look at that. That's what it's going to look like when we get done. Isn't that cute? And we'll move it up enough. So the donkey's still showing. The sloth is still showing. All right, so let's do some heat emboss. We'll do a quick heat emboss. We're going to do some white. So we're going to take out, we used to sell these. I don't think we sell the Embossing Buddy, but you can get them online if I'm not mistaken. So this helps to keep your ink to only go where you want it to go. All right, so we're going to put that there. You put him back in his bag. And then we're going to use Versamark ink. And I'm using the same sentiment, We're the Best of Friends. And I took that from the Free as a Bird. All right, so I'm taking my Versamark. And I've already got that up so that we can then put our white emboss. We're going to use white embossing powder. And then I'm going to place this, try to get it center. I'm just going to place that right there for a second, let it sit and transfer. Okay. I know you can't see it, but it's there. And then I'm going to bring in my coffee filter and my embossing powder, and I get these at the dollar store. Actually, I found these at like Ruby, what's it called, Home Goods or something. And I'm just gonna, I like to do it this way so I don't have such a mess. And I'm just gonna dip this over and pour it in here. And this way it keeps it all nice and easy, and you don't have to worry about getting all this. Because once this stuff gets all over the desk, oh my God, it's like it's powder everywhere. Okay, so that looks good. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way, and then we're going to heat emboss this. It won't take that long. So if you haven't heat embossed before, it's really remarkable, you know, what it does. Give me 1 second. I just want to wipe that off. Okay, so give me a minute. I'm going to turn this on high heat, and once you start to see it shine, then you'll see it start to melt the embossing powder. So I usually put it on high. And now you see my S on Friends. Once I get it going, I usually put it at a slight angle, and then you'll see it. See how it started to change right there? You see that? Best is now changing. Now we're going to get into the next two words. Look at that. There you go. So I just go back over it a couple of times just to make sure we got it all right. Everybody's melted. There you go. That's all you got to do. Look at that. Pretty clever, huh? All right. So now we're going to take this and we're going to add glue dots to this as well. So let's go ahead. Let me see what time it is. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. My goodness gracious. Okay. So, yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get the 3 cards done, but I'll show you, and then I'll do them next week, the ones that we don't do today. All right, so I'm just going to put glue dots on, and you don't have to do glue dots. You can probably put adhesive, but since we're using the vellum, I figured it was probably going to be easier. So, again, I'm just pushing down and pulling up so I get glue dots to cover because we want to make sure that this sticks to our vellum. So I'm just going to place some wherever, right? So there's that. I'm going to put one down in the corner here. And let's see, we got 3 there. And then I'll just do it the easy way. I got 2, so we'll just do one here and one there. How's that? All right, so we've got those. Okay. Get him off there. All right, so I think we're good with the, oh, got to do the bottom one, don't we? That would be helpful, this one right here. So let's do that. I got one in the corner, so let's put one here. Put one in the center. And we'll put, on my fingernail, we'll put one there. And we need one in the corner, one right there. Okay. All right, so we are going to take this, and I'm going to, first, before I lay that on there, so I've got all my glue dots on there. Actually, I'm going to add one more because I've got like a major space. Let me put one on towards the bottom as well. Let's put one right there. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to the front of the card. I'm just going to use my Tombow because this is the Sahara Sand cardstock, so that's not going to be a problem. But since we're attaching the other piece using the vellum, then we're going to use our glue dots. All right, so we're going to lay this guy on here. And again, this is 4 by 5 1/4, so it should leave us an edge, right? All right, so there's our frame. All right, and now we're going to take this and come in, and we're going to lay that right. I got to stand up to make sure. And see how I didn't let that, and it smeared a little bit. Hopefully, it's going to be covered up. So we're going to lay this right here, and what I should have done was I should have probably when I rounded the corners, I should have done those, but that's okay. We probably could still round that one, but that's all right. So there is our Etch-A-Sketch. Isn't that cute? Now all we have to do is add our knobs. And so we're going to add these 2 knobs using dimensionals. So we're just going to put 1 dimensional on each. And we're going to put one right about there. And put one here. All right. So there is our Etch-A-Sketch. What do y'all think about that? Isn't that cute? And then here's the other one. Oops. Here's the other one I did with the different farm animals and the dog who's kind of out of place. And then I used the scallops there. And then this is the one I did a couple weeks ago. This one is in real red. And that one, if you notice, the border is a lot smaller. And then I realized that it didn't look quite as wet, quite as good as the thicker one. So, all right. So there's that. And it is 3 minutes to 7. Now, I can do this other card if y'all want me to, or we can wait for next week. So what do y'all, I know, thanks. Do you all want to watch me do one more card? Let me show you what I have. It's really pretty easy. It shouldn't take long. This is like a book. So here this is. We're using the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper. And we're just going to fold it and create like a pop-up. Isn't that cute? So how about if I take a few minutes and show you? I've already got everything pretty much cut. So let's go ahead and make this one. Now what I did, because I don't have the stamp set, but I did buy the 3D embossing folder. So I embossed the folder and used different colored cardstock on the folder, and then I just fussy cut them out and stuck them in here. All right, let me show you one I did. Now this one, just to let you know, if this one I did the other day, and I did it backwards, because if we're right-handed or left-handed or whatever, we always open a book like this, right? Well, look at my flowers. They look like they're upside down, right? To me, they do. So I turned it, and then this one, I used the art gallery, and I did it like that. I used the circle instead of an oval. So there it is, done with the art gallery paper and stamp set. So I just opened it on the left. I thought, well, shoot, it's okay. But isn't that cute? And then it folds flat to be mailed. So let's go ahead and let's get started, and I'll show you how to do this one. Okay, so let me see. Now let's pull in our stuff, and I'll give you the measurements on this. This is a pretty easy card too. This one I got from, you can tell I cased all of these. This is from Lissa, A Song of My Heart. She's a demonstrator in the States, and not sure where she's located, but she had, I saw this, and I thought, oh, that's cute, so I wanted to try it. And I thought, well, I don't have I had the paper, and I don't have the seashell stamp set. And I thought, well, I'll just make it work with the embossing folder. Now, this one we're going to do a little bit different. Okay, so the first thing that you need is you need a 5.5 by 12-inch piece of designer series paper. It's easier to use the designer paper than it is cardstock, because cardstock is going to be too thick and bulky. All right, so 5.5 by 12. All right, and then you're going to put it in your stamp, your trimmer, and you're going to, or scoreboard, whichever you want to do. And we're going to score it at 3.5. You want to score 3.5 and 4. So when I fold these, you'll see 3.5 and 4. Then you're going to slide over to 7.5. And you're going to do 8. So 7.5, 8. And then you're going to do 11.5. And that's this little flap right here. Okay? Now, so based on your paper design, like this one, it really doesn't matter, right? It goes like this or like that. Then on this flap here, has that 1/2 inch, is where you want to put your die cut. So you can do an oval, you can do a circle, you can do a square, whatever you feel like doing. It's your call, all right? And what I'm doing, since I don't have the stamp set, I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to use this on the front of my card, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and fold, and I'll show you what this is going to look like. So this is the 3.5 inch. So I'm going to burnish that. And then this is the 3.5, which is now the 4 inches. Let me get that in here. Hang on, let me do it this way. All right, so this is the 4 inch. Hang on, I'm going to get to my fold here. Got to be careful. So if you don't push hard enough on the paper, it won't, it doesn't go through. So you want to push hard enough. All right, so there's my 3.5, and there's my 4 inch. And then I'm going to flip it over, and that's my 11.5, right? So this is going to be my 7 right here, and make sure everything stays lined up. So that's my 7, and then here's my, 7.5, and then this is my 8 inch. All right, so we'll do that one more time. You can see my scores. 3.5, 4, 7.5, 8, 11.5. Okay? All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to add, I'm going to put tear and tape on here, but we want to be careful because when I did this earlier, it grabbed a hold of it. So what you want to do is line this up on that little piece right there on that fold, and then pull this piece up so it attaches. All right? So let's go ahead and get that done now. So let's get our tear. You could probably use Seal or your Seal Plus, but I would rather do the tear and tape. We probably could do the Seal, but let's do tear and tape. All right, so I'm just going to put that on that one strip right here. Let me get in the camera so y'all can see. All right, and then I got a mess on my desk here. All right, so we've got that. So now we want to tear this off. All right, now this is the tricky part, okay? So we're going to fold this down. I'm going to keep my fingers to hold it square, and I'm just going to place it right on the edge of that score line, and then I'm going to make sure it's even, and then I'm going to fold this up, and there we go. And then I'll flatten it down. So I'll just come in and do it this way. It's really an easy card. All right, and then we'll just rub it with our fingers. And there you go. So we've got that, and then all you have to do here is just kind of square it up a little bit. Okay? All right, and then this one we want to fold back a little because it's opening, and that's okay. We just want to get a little crease there. All right, so there's that. Now, the next thing we want to do is we're going to, before we do anything else, now I got it off just a little bit. See, I didn't bring that down. Can you see? I'm going to show you my mistake. See how the blue didn't go right down to that fold? And if I lift this up because I use the tear and tape, it's probably not going to let me. It's going to rip it. So this is going to be off just a tad when we go to fold it. You see how it's hanging off just a tad? It's a little bit off, but it'll be fine. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take a piece of 3, I think it's, hang on, let me measure it. It's 3 1/4, yeah, 3 1/4 by 5 inches, and we're going to put that on the inside. This would be for your message, okay? So we'll go ahead and add that now. So let's go ahead and do that, because that way then we can go ahead and decorate the inside. So just be careful that I had a hard time earlier when I attached the piece to fold up to make the book. It's like a book card. Okay, so we're going to attach that there. All right, now we're going to take the inside, and I did some of the shimmer paper, shimmer white, and I thought that would be pretty on the inside, and I did Seaside Spray and Flamingo, Flirty Flamingo. Now this also has Blushing Bride. So I did a couple of different ones. I may put this on the front. I don't know. We'll see. And I was just going to kind of play with it. So I thought I'd put, since there's white, I'd put that there. And then I can just kind of work with this and maybe put some, and I'm going to pop these up on dimensionals once I figure out how I want to, and you just decorate it the way you want, okay? So it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to kind of lay them here. I'm just trying to get an idea of how I want my shells, you know, how it to go. So you can see the shimmer. And then maybe I want to put a pink. That's a conch shell. So let's do, see if I have any other blues. I don't. We could do a white, which would be pretty. So we could do a white. Let's see. How can we do this? Hold on a minute. Let's see. And again, everybody has their own way of doing things, and that is fine. We can put that there. And we can put this at an angle, the conch shell with the, what is that thing? A snail? I don't know what that is. And we could put some blue right there. And if we wanted to put a little bit of the pink, we could also lay that in between. Or we could lay it, yeah, we could kind of lay that in between if we wanted to do it that way and take out the blue. So it really just depends on what your preference is. So y'all might have a better way of doing this than me. So, and I'm not sure if I like that pink because it's a little off. So why don't we do, and I have this one, but I think that would be too much to have both of these guys in there. So let's do this one. I'm going to place this one right about there. I'm going to go ahead and pop some dimensionals. I think I'll do the white one as well. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we're going to stick these in there, and then we'll just go figure it out. How's that? We're just going to see where it takes us. Living on the edge, just like with me and my hair. All right, so I'm going to put some dimensionals on here, and then, and this is fine because even when you fold it to go to mail it, it will be fine. I don't think you'll need to add extra postage. And let's just stick another one right there. Whoopsie. I don't want two, I just want one. And then we'll add a mini dimensional. Oops, that stuck to my finger. We'll put a little mini dimensional right there. I'll just use my paper snips. And we'll put that one right on the tip so it tacks down. So let's take these off. And this one will be done in no time, so it won't take any time. All right, thank you. Whoever just said that you love all 3 of these cards, I'm glad you do. And I'm glad I can share stuff. At least if you don't like how I decorate this, you can at least do your own, right? All right, so let's put this guy, I think I like him like that. So let's put him a little bit on the inside right there. I'm going to poke him down. And I like the white one too. Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring over here. Dadgummit. I forgot to get my sponger. Hold on a second. At least I'll sponge this one. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I forgot to bring my sponges over. All right, I'm going to use crumb cake, and I'm using one of our new blending sponges, which are really not orderable, unfortunately. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of this on here, and let me see if I got a scratch. I'll just use this paper to, I'm going to rub off a little bit. Hopefully these guys aren't going to stick. And I'm going to do a little sponging on this because I want to give it a little bit of color and some, you know, look. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Even though it's on the inside, I can still put a little brown on him. Just kind of get it in there. Just to make it look so stark white, you know what I'm saying? So that's good. It gives me just a little bit. Let's add a little bit more to this guy. I'm going to just make sure I'm going to do the edges here. I love these sponges. The only thing, the handle seems a little weak right where and I have to hold my finger there, but that's fine. Okay, there we go. That'll work. Okay, so let's close that up. Okay, good thing I caught that one, huh? All right, so I'm going to put him, because I really do like the white, so I think I'm going to, I'll place him about like that. I don't know why I always refer to these things as males. What is wrong with that? Okay, so I'm going to place that one right there. And then I do want to put some color in here. So I think I'm going to do a blue just because I want some color. So I think I'll put the blue one right about there. So let's put some dimensionals on this. And we'll put 2 on him. This one and this one. All right. I hope y'all are enjoying these cards. They're really fun to make. I'm just going to lay that right about there. And let's see, what else do we have? What other colors? I just have the blue. I didn't do any. One of the cards I did some green for the sea leaf. I think that looks fine. I think I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I could put the pink, but I think that might be a little much. So I'm just going to leave the white, the shimmer white. So I'm just going to leave that like that. And then we're going to do a sentiment here, and we're going to do our front. So this is my piece of the circle that I cut out, right? So I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to use that. Since, again, I don't have the stamp set here, so we're going to use this, and you can see how my card, I'm going to have to bend it because I didn't get that in there all the way, right? So I'm going to have to force it and make my box work. So we'll fix that so it works, okay? All right, so I'm going to lay this flat. We're going to attach this here. So I'm just going to use, whoops, throwing everything all over the place. All right, so we're going to use our Tombow. Let me get it off there so I can see, make sure I don't put it on the wrong thing, right? And then we're going to do a sentiment on here. All right, so we're going to place that right about there. And you can add ribbon, you know, you can do whatever you want for decorating, right? All right, so we've got the blue there. Now I am going to stamp, where's my words? I am going to stamp, this isn't just a thank you card, and that is from, oh my God, I didn't bring this. Oh yeah, I did. Massive Thanks from the stamp set. I'm going to stamp that in the Seaside Spray. So we're going to stamp it on here, and then we're going to punch it out. So let me stamp that right about here. All right. And then I'm going to punch this using, where's my punch? Hold on. Didn't I bring my punch? Hold on. I got that punch. Oh, here it is. We're on the side of the table. I'm using the Label Me Lovely punch. I hope this is still active. I hope it is. I think it is. All right, so I'm just going to place it right inside of here, which it fits perfectly. I'll bring it up just a notch and make sure it's straight, and we're going to punch that out. Okay. All right, so there's that one. And then I'm going to come back, and what was I going to do with this one? I wasn't even thinking. Hang on a minute. Let me take this off. I know I always talk to myself. I've got so many stamps over here. Everything is in my way. All right, so we're going to stamp this one. It's a hug with a fold in the middle, and I'm going to stamp that. And I think what I'm going to do, what did I just do with my white paper? Oh, let's just use this one. I think I'm going to fussy cut this one, and we'll attach it, and I'm going to stamp that in the Seaside as well. So we're just going to stamp that right there. And I don't like that because my G looks like it's, well, that's the way the G looks. Okay. My hug has got a crunch in the G. All right, so we're going to, I'm going to cut this. This one we're going to pop up on dimensional, so let's go ahead and do that. And then I've got some of these little seashells, so we're going to decorate those. And then we have some of the little pretty little pearly things that we have. So let me get my dimensionals. The dog is behind me rubbing on the floor. If you can't hear, she's ready to do her walk, snorting and carrying on. Okay, so we're going to put that right on the front. Here, she's snorting. She starts to snort. Okay. I know, I love this. I love that. I just, for whatever reason, I never got around to ordering it. All right, so I'm going to just lay that right there. And then I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take this pink. I'm going to lay that right there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just put that right there. And let's put a dimensional on this one too. We'll just do 2. I don't want to put too many on here, but it should be fine. And we'll put this one on the front, and then we're going to put the sentiment in the back. And I think I'll place that right about there. All right. And then, let's see. Do I want to, since I didn't bring, let's just go ahead and cut this one out. I was going to fussy cut it, but let's cut this. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one right here. So let's see how we can get this. We'll just cut it. We'll have to play with the size here. Give it just enough room. Make sure it's straight. All right, so we're just going to cut this one down. And I got glue. Oh, what in the world? Hang on a minute. I got glue on my thing. I need to clean that off. I tell you, I get glue on everything. All right, so let's go with, move that down just a little bit. I think that'll give us room. There we go. And then we'll come back. I know, I feel like I'm all thumbs. And let's leave a little bit of an edge here. We'll cut that there. I probably should have just gotten up and gotten a punch, but that's okay. Actually, I should have fussy cutted it because it probably would have looked a little bit better. Let's just hold that down and cut that there. All right, that'd be fine. Actually, I could round the corners. Okay, there we go. Let's move this out of the way. It's stuck to my finger. Let's do that. Let's do the corners. Let's round them. Why not? We can, can't we? Let's see what it does. That's perfect. Let's do that. Let's just do the top corners. So I'm just going to slide it in here up against that thing and punch it. That's cute. Do you think we can do the other side? Let's see. What do you think it's going to do? Let's try it. See, it might cut off part of my word. Nope. Oh, we're going to make it round. We're going to round them up. Get it. Got to get it in here straight. Oh, almost. There we go. Okay, that'll work. All right, so then we're going to take this and we're going to put this piece right, it's a little bit low there. What if we put it up here? It's going to be right on the edge of the card. This is a little bit, my oval's a little bit down. Why don't we do that way? Let's put this on, I think I'm just going to attach it. Let's do our seal. I'm not going to put it towards the bottom. I'm going to put it, I'm just going to run along the sides here. And we'll attach it and we'll let a little bit of it's going to hang down, but we don't want the adhesive. So I know I can go down just a little bit. And we'll just place that right there. All right. And then we'll take and place one of our shells. And we'll put some adhesive on that. And we're going to place that on, well, daggone, I got that thing in there crooked too, didn't I? Well, I might have to redo this card for whoever's getting this card. So we're going to put that one there. And I know I had another one. Oh, here we go. Here's a bigger one. Actually, I don't like that one. Let's take this one off. We'll put another one on. This one looks much prettier. Okay. All right, we'll put that right about there. All right, so that's where we're going to write our message. And there's the card. Isn't that cute? Oh, we got to put some of these pearls on here. Hold on a minute. So let's do, since we're doing pink, let's do the pink one. So we'll put one right here. Let's do one at the top and one at the bottom. Let's put it in the center. We'll put one down at the bottom. Or maybe we should put, no, let's put it down here. What do you think? No, I think I want it up here. And I'm just going to move this one over. Put them at the top. There we go. All right, so there's that card. Isn't that cute? It's a fun card. Now, this one's a little boogered up because I didn't get it hooked right, so I'll fix that one. But there you go. You just cut your paper, fold it together, and then decorate the inside with whatever you want to put in there. And then when you get ready to mail it, you just fold it flat. Here's the one I did with the art gallery. And then here's the one I did earlier today using the same paper. This one I got right, so I can lay down like that. Isn't that cute? So there you go. There are our cards. So let me pull those back in so y'all can see those. Let me get this out of the way. And thank you for watching. It's 20 after 8. I didn't mean to hold you up this long, but you got to see some cards. Here's our cute cards that we did and our Etch-A-Sketch. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed these cards, everyone. Make sure you get your shopping done tomorrow because it is free shipping and that could save you a little bit of money. All right, thanks everyone. I appreciate it. Make sure that you share the video and I see all your comments. I'll go back and reply to you all. So thank you again, and don't forget, let's see, was it Chris and, put your name somewhere, Chris at Thigpen and Tony Arnold, text me or message me your addresses, and I'll get these cards and the last, 3 weeks cards in the mail to you all. All right, have a great Tuesday evening, pardon me, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye now.